Oh boy, guys. It's not just crypto, it's the stock market, it's markets all across the world just dying today. Oh my god. Oh boy. There we go. The market's dead. You can thank Trump and the tariffs for that. But let me get the music started here, and we'll get this thing started here. Welcome, guys, to the Meet Damien channel. Sorry to see the kind of action that we're getting in the markets here, but as investors and traders here, we should be, able to expect what's going to be next in the markets by looking at the charts. But every now and then we get some news here that's going to affect us, and we'll take a look at the news to see what's going on with the stock market. We'll then look at the charts for the stock market, and we'll also look at the cryptocurrencies as well, Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies. But let's take a look at the news, see what's going on. Why are things down today? You see me wearing the red shirt. When you see me wearing the red shirt, that most likely means we're having a red day. Okay, so here we go. All right, so U.S. stocks have plunged on Monday, suffering widespread losses amid an escalating trade war a day after President Donald Trump declined to rule out the possibility of a recession. Okay, I believe he was on an interview last night, and somebody asked him, "Well, aren't you worried about what these tariffs might do and induce a recession going forward?" And he said he's not worried about a recession. Okay, he won't decline to rule out the possibility of a recession, and he feels like he has some work to do to get the U.S. economy back on track. He's not really worried about the markets at this point. So that's what he said, and here we go. Markets show him why he should be worried. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed down 890 points, or 2%, while the S&P 500 went down 2.7%, and the NASDAQ plummeted 4%, which amounted to more than $1 trillion in losses today, according to Bloomberg. Tesla, the electric car maker, because they have to add this because Elon Musk is part of Donald Trump's team now. The electric car maker Tesla, led by Elon Musk, sank 15% today, and United Airlines and Delta each fell more than 4%. The sell-off coincided with retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. following levies last week on Canada, Mexico, and China, some of which were delayed. Okay, on Monday, today, March 10th, 2025, China started imposing tariffs on U.S. imports such as chicken, wheat, and soybeans. And then Ontario, up in Canada, the Ontario Premier Doug Ford said his province would slap a 25% surcharge on electricity bound for homes and businesses in New York, Minnesota, and Michigan. And Ford goes on to say here that President Trump's tariffs are a disaster for the U.S. economy. Until the threat of tariffs is gone for good, Ontario won't back down. So they're getting aggressive over there in Canada. Okay, they're doing the retaliatory tariffs. Okay, that we were worried about. Some people were worried about Trump's tariffs, but other people are even more worried about what these other countries could do as far as tariffs and how that's going to screw up the economy and screw up businesses and create collateral damage that we weren't even anticipating and that we can't plan for. But now, as the news is starting to break out, we now know what these countries are going to do next here. When the market drawdown on Monday extended losses last week, the S&P 500 recorded its worst week since September. When asked about a potential recession in an interview broadcast on Sunday, Trump said that tariffs imposed in recent days could bring about a period of transition. So this is the transition period that Trump is talking about, okay? He said that he hates to predict things like that. This was with Fox News, okay? So it was Fox News and it was taped on Thursday. He says that it takes a little time, but I think it should be great for us. Okay, so Donald Trump thinks that what's going on in the markets is great for us. Okay. In response to a question later on Sunday about his reluctance to rule out a recession, Trump said, "I'll tell you what, of course you hesitate. Who knows?" Since Inauguration Day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has fallen 2.5%. The S&P has dropped 5%, while the NASDAQ has plummeted 10% since Donald Trump came into office. The NASDAQ is down 10%. We'll take a look at that in the charts here, okay? And the market slowdown has coincided with some worse than expected overall economic performance. A jobs report on Friday showed that U.S. employers hired 151,000 workers last month, falling short of the expected 170,000 jobs that they were expecting. That actually caused unemployment to go up a little bit. It went from 4% to 4.1%, so just a slight uptick on that. Yeah, the news is just bad. The only good bit of news that I can see right here is that mortgage rates have dropped for about 7 consecutive weeks. Freddie Mac data showed the average rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage stands at 6.63%, its lowest level since December. All right, let's take a look at the charts here. So you guys see what's going on here. So as you may have known, that Bitcoin is dropping down. It's down at $76,800. We'll take a look at Bitcoin a little bit later. I want to get more focus about the stock market because there are some people here that are getting affected in stock market world. So we'll take a look. We'll start with the Dow Jones Industrial Average here. So the Dow Jones, right? Dow Jones is at 41,911 points here, down 2% today, which is a big deal for most stock market investors out there. Probably means that most stocks are actually down more than that. This is just the index here, okay? And what I'm seeing here with the Dow Jones Industrial Average is that we have this red line here, the 200-day moving average. We're breaking through that support on the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is currently sitting at 41,922. We actually closed below that, okay? If we continue going below this red line, that signifies that we are in a bear market on the Dow Jones, okay? Anytime an asset is below its 200-day moving average, I consider that a bear market, okay? Another way to gauge a bear market is if it's down more than 20% from its most recent high. The most recent high has it, the Dow Jones was as high as 45,000 points. If we go down to like another 4,000 or 5,000 points from here, we'll definitely be down 20%. And then that's usually what a lot of stock market investors consider to be a recession. Okay. Cartoons is over here saying, can I do a chart on SUI? I can do a chart on SUI. I wanted to focus on the stock market right now and just go over the top 3 indices, but I'll take a look at SUI right after that, and then we'll go right into Bitcoin after that. Okay, so stay tuned. I appreciate the request here. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 real quick. S&P 500 is also below its 200-day moving average, that red line there, okay? And if the S&P 500 just closed below it today, so I'm expecting probably some more bearish moves down on the S&P 500. If I pull up the VRVP, it might give us an idea as like where we might get some support after this. VRVP is saying that we have a high volume node here at 5,480, so S&P 500 might come down to that level. Okay, then we also have some more volume here at 5,300. Okay, those will probably be the next levels if the S&P 500 is going to continue being bearish. The bullish case for the S&P 500 is we need to get above that 200-day moving average, which is not too far away, for us to continue being bullish here on the S&P 500. Let's move on to NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ is down 4%. Okay. And the NASDAQ is also, as you can see, below its 200-day moving average. And we have some high volume nodes here at 17,100. That could be the next level that the NASDAQ is going to visit. And then if it can't hold that level, then we have some more high volume here at 16,395. Okay, 16,400 might be the next level. And if it does that, then it's going back to like where it was in August of 2024. We haven't seen those kind of levels since August of 2024. So we're breaking the trend on the NASDAQ and on the indices for the stock market here. All right, cartoons. Here you go. We got Sui coming up on deck here. We'll take a look at Sui. Sui's currently trading at $2.01, down 3.7% tonight, actually, because the candle started, this daily candle just started about an hour and a half ago. Okay, so we're already down 3% today. And then also, let's see, we were down 8.79% earlier on Monday. Okay, so Sui is clearly in a downtrend right now. Sui is also below its 200-day moving average, that red line there. Let me get rid of the VRVP real quick here because it keeps bouncing around here. Where I can see Sui going next is probably like where it's at actually right now. We might get a bounce off of the $1.80 level here for Sui. Okay, that's where we have some support from back in like September and October of 2024. Okay, I'm expecting maybe some support at that level there. If Sui is not able to maintain and defend $1.80, then looks like we're gonna come right down to about 80 or 90 cents on Sui. And let me just go ahead and pull up the VRVP to see if that is showing the same kind of information here. Yeah, you got the point of control, that blue line, right? This is the VRVP, these green and red bars here. You can pull up this indicator on your trading view chart. It's called the VRVP, okay? And the VRVP shoots out this blue line here, this point of control. And the point of control is at $1.01, okay? So if Sui starts losing some of these higher volume nodes here at like $1.70 and $1.80, we have a big gap here, which could then send us down to like $1.10 or $1 on Sui. So it could be a very hard and painful drop here if we're not able to maintain $1.80 on Sui. My short-term bearish target on Sui is $1.80 right now. Let's see, is there any possible bullish divergence which could possibly save the day here? No, we are still making lower lows here on the RSI. Could it possibly be hidden bullish divergence? Give me a second here. Let's see. If we're going to consider this a higher low compared to the low that we made here on Sui, then you could make a case, not a strong case, but it's still, you can still make a case. It might be a weak case that we have hidden bullish divergence. Let me go ahead and just show you here. So if this is like the line here, you got a low here at like $1.84, and then you got the low here at $1.96. If Sui can just not go below $1.90 here, then you can count this as a higher low on the daily time frame, and then you can then look at this as we're making lower lows here on the RSI. And that is considered hidden bullish divergence, which means that we can still be bullish on SUI. But the problem with this hidden bullish divergence is that we've been having hidden bullish divergence on SUI for a while now, but we just keep making lower lows here. So I don't know if the hidden bullish divergence is going to be strong enough for us to actually be bullish on SUI. Okay. Because you can see, like, you know, you could have said like this was hidden bullish divergence, like this was a low here and this was another low. Okay, this was a lower low than the previous low here, but this was the low and then this is the higher low. So we had bullish divergence, which has been it's been neglected. It hasn't even come into effect because we just been in this falling wedge. Now, what I like better, and you know, if we do have hidden bullish divergence actually playing out for SUI, what I do like and that I'm seeing here is we are creating a falling wedge here on SUI. Okay. And falling wedges, they usually break out to the upside 70% of the time. But I mean, this thing could still bounce up and down until like maybe later on this in March here before it actually tries to bounce out to the higher level here. But you know, if SUI was to be you know, breaking out to the upside out of this falling wedge, you just take the measure. You take the measure move from the top of the falling wedge to the bottom of the falling wedge. You grab that measure move to like where we could possibly break out here at like $2 here for SUI, and it's saying that there's a price target of about $3.21. SUI could possibly come back up to $3.21 if we can get back to being bullish again on SUI, and that also would take you above the 200-day moving average. And once you get above the 200-day moving average, that, you know, 200-day moving average is sitting at $2.94 right now. If you get above $2.94, then you can consider being bullish on SUI again. But for now, it's bearish on SUI. Okay. But yeah, that's SUI. Let's go into Bitcoin now, and then I'll take some more requests from you guys after I go over the Bitcoin chart. But let's look at Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $77,180 here. Let me get rid of the VRVP here real quick here. And yeah, I mean, you know, that $77,000 level was very important for us to hold. We'll see if that can still hold. This is a Fibonacci node level here, so we'll see if that is able to hold here on Bitcoin. Okay, but we've already broken below the 200-day moving average, so we are bearish on Bitcoin right now. The only way to survive in a bear market is to take your profits quick and you know, try to buy the dips and then sell the rips. And you're looking for bear flags now. Okay, let's go into the 50-minute chart here on Bitcoin so you can see how these bull flags play out. You can see, you know, I'm sorry, not the bull flags, the bear flags. You can see that Bitcoin has been making bear flags here where it goes down, right? And then it finds a level that it thinks it wants to support, and then we try to go back up again here. All right, but we're not able to actually, you know, sustain that, and we usually get rejected off the moving averages here. Like you can see, we got rejected off the 50-day moving average. We actually came up to the 100-day moving average here before, but the way these bear flags play out is like you just take this measure move, the flagpole of the bear flag, and you take it to like where you think you might break out of that flag. And this one kind of got delayed a little bit here, going from Sunday night going into Monday. But you can see the measure move still put us back to like where this thing ended up coming down. Because look, I mean, it says that right here we should have came down to $79,000 on Bitcoin. And look what these red candles did here on Monday morning. It came all the way down to $79,278. So the bear flag did actually play out. It just got delayed a little bit here. Okay, so you know, that's how bear flags form. That's how you measure them, and that's how you can find out how low this thing can go next. Okay, now you can see that I'm already eyeballing. You know, once again, you got another bear flag here, right? You got this bear flag pole, right? You measure this right here, okay? And I'll just draw out the flag one more time here. You can see that, you know, we came up here on price Monday afternoon here. Probably short sellers taking some profit and covering their shorts, and then the short sellers reinitiated the you know, their shorts again, and more selling came in. And you can see that the way we measure this bear flag here, right? You just take the flagpole to where you're breaking out the bear flag, and look at this, right? It says that we should see Bitcoin come down to about $75,800 is where I think Bitcoin is probably going to go next. Probably, I mean, if you want to like time this out, it's going to probably happen around like 10 o'clock, about an hour from now, maybe 10:30 tonight, or maybe later on tonight. But I'm expecting Bitcoin, it's probably going to go up again, tease the bulls, and then it will drop down to that $75,000 level. I'm expecting that to be happening later on tonight. Okay. Let's see, cartoons. If you're still here, you said if I had to choose between Aptos or Sui, which one is a better buy today? I mean, I would have to look at the Aptos chart here, okay? And then I would have to compare the two, right? We've already looked at Sui, right? Let me just take a look at Sui one more time here. We'll look at the daily time frame on Sui. So Sui, we know, is in a falling wedge, and it's probably going to get some support at like anywhere between $1.70 to $2 here. You can put your stop loss at like maybe like $1.45 or $1.50, and if it keeps going below that, then you want to make sure you're not losing any more money on Sui. So that's how I would game plan Sui. And we said that the measure move out of this falling wedge would put Sui right back at like $3, maybe $3.20 here. Okay, so you got like maybe a 50% move on Sui from where it is right now, and you could probably put your stop loss, you know, where you only lose about maybe like 15%. So you're risking like 15-20% to try and get 50% on Sui in the near-term future here. Let's go into Aptos now. Aptos looks like it's already bottoming out. I think I talked about this yesterday, but that doesn't mean it can't create a new, you know, a new low here and a new bottom. Okay, but Aptos is showing a little bit more strength right now, I would say, because you already got the bullish divergence playing out here on the RSI. You got some higher lows here, but look at this, actually, as I mentioned that. So this was from last night, last night's live stream. I was measuring these higher lows here on the RSI, and looks like that trend is starting to break down right now. So Sui might actually, Aptos might continue being bearish again, and if it goes down, I mean, how much lower could it go? We saw a candle wick here where we got as low as $4.50 on Aptos. And then we've seen Aptos get as low as like $4.32 back in August of 2024. So I'm expecting that to probably be where Aptos could go if we continue being bearish all around the markets here. Okay, so maybe you could put your stop loss. Let's see, we'll measure probably below $4.30, maybe like $4.20 maybe. So you're actually risking, let's see. Let me get into this here. You are risking, how much are you risking here? From where we are right now at $5.14 down to a stop loss at like $4.20. You're risking about 18%, so about same thing as Sui, okay? But if Aptos was to become bullish, what's the bullish case, okay? What can we make for a bullish case on Aptos? So, you know, Aptos was kind of already in a falling wedge, but it looks like it's breaking sideways out of that falling wedge. You know, this was kind of like a descending channel or falling wedge on Aptos here. Maybe I can measure. I'll measure it like that. Okay. So, if Aptos, right? If Aptos was to break out of this falling wedge to the upside, you just measure from the top of that falling wedge to the bottom, right? And you take it to like where we could possibly break out here at like $5.12. And it says Aptos could get up to like $8.48. Okay. And what kind of percentage gain is that? You know, from where we are at 515 to what we said, 848. It's about 64%. I feel as though Aptos and Sui are pretty much similar as far as what they can do for gains here. It's just that I think Aptos is already trading sideways and trying to create a bottom right now. Okay. Doesn't mean that it can't go a little bit lower than where it is right now, but I think Aptos could get you a far bigger percentage gain of 64%, which we've already measured. And your stop loss is similar to the stop loss you would put on Sui. So you're risking about like 15 to 20% on your trade here with Aptos and Sui. But I think Aptos is poised and ready to go up. It just needs a good reason to do it. It's already been going sideways. I think Sui might continue going down some more. So I feel as though Aptos is actually safer. And you'll be able probably to get maybe like 10% more in the short term here. You'll get like 60% with Aptos versus like 50% with Sui on the first bullish target. It could always go higher than that, but I'm just saying, like, just measuring these falling wedges here, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, let me just get rid of some of these lines here. But yeah, $4.20. You know, I'll just lock that in there. That's gonna be the line in the sand. If Aptos goes below 420, you probably want nothing to do with it. It's probably gonna go lower, and we really don't know how low it could go. We do have some previous data here that says that Aptos has been as low as $3.07. Okay. So putting a stop loss at 420 will probably save you from losing another 25% down further. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, cartoons. I'm glad I was helpful. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. And of course, you can stick around. Give me some more requests here if you got them. Okay. But yeah, if you like my TA, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's see, who had one of the worst days here according to the cryptos that I've been following. Virtual and AI16Z down 5%. Wow. I actually want to look at Coinbase. Let's look at Coinbase stock. Wow, down 17% today. So this is Coinbase cryptocurrency exchange. They're not doing so well with crypto in the stock market. It's almost like a double whammy. Okay, Coinbase is part of the stock market, and Coinbase products is selling you cryptos, buying and selling cryptos for you. So wow, look at this Coinbase. That's a big red candle there, and a gap too. Whew. That is a solid red candle there, down 17%. I got some previous chart work here. Let's see, the RSI is oversold. It's like 28 on the RSI, so a little bit below. That's bear market territory. Yeah. On the RSI, this red number here. Anything below 30 is considered oversold, so you could say that Coinbase is oversold, but it can continue being oversold. Looking at the MACD, it looked like Coinbase was starting to get a little bit of buying pressure. The selling pressure is coming off, but it looks like we're getting some more selling pressure here on Coinbase. And then even the stochastic RSI was trying to curve up, and it looked like Coinbase was trying to recover after already having a bad February, but looks like we're gonna get a bad March as well. Yikes. Let me pull up the VRVP here real quick, see what the levels are saying on there. How far low, how much lower could Coinbase here go? Give the VRP a chance to reset here. So we got point of control here at $168, $165. So Coinbase would probably lose like another $10 going into the rest of this week here, and maybe later on this month. We have a value area low, so if you want to buy some cheap Coinbase stock, okay, maybe 134, 135 bucks might be where you want to put your buy limit orders, because that's, this white line is saying that's the value area low. A lot of volume was traded at that area, so a lot of people that bought at that level are going to be just breaking even, and they're probably not going to sell until we go below the value area low. So I think that's going to be a good support area for it to bounce off of if we continue going lower here. $135 on Coinbase, but short-term target is that blue line there. It's 165 bucks is where Coinbase could go next. You got some sideways trading action back here in August and September of last year. You also got some sideways trading action here back in February of 2024. So $165 is a very crucial level for Coinbase to try to defend, if anything. And you can't be bullish on Coinbase until you get above that 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at 235 bucks. So when Coinbase gets back up to 230 again, you can start being bullish on Coinbase. Right now, it's just a bear market all over again for Coinbase here. Wow. Okay, who else is down in the red? Some of these cryptocurrency related stocks have been probably gotten beaten down a lot more than these cryptos. Although the cryptos they got beaten over the weekend. The stock market is just trying to catch up to where crypto's at. So you have a crypto stock here. Hut8 is a Bitcoin miner, and that one is down 15% today. All right, let's see. See that, down 50%, trading at $11.48. And talk about round trip, right? You know, a lot of these cryptos, they did a round trip starting in October, November of last year was like the bull run for crypto. Same thing for these Bitcoin miners, and this one in particular, Hut8. And look at this, coming right back down to where it started in October of last year, as if this was all for nothing. Jesus. Where could Hut8 go next? Hut8 has a value area low here at like $6.90. Got a lot of volume in that area, so that might be where it goes next as the long-term bearish target. But the nearest bearish target is actually going to be this blue line, the point of control at $9.20. $9.20 is where Hut8 could go next. And of course, if you're going to be bullish, you got to get above that 200-day moving average, which is sitting at $16.80. $16.87 for Hut8 if you're going to try to be bullish. Geez, you know, what's going to help save this market? It would be nice if Donald Trump would stop putting tariffs on everybody, because now they're putting tariffs on the United States, and it's causing the stock market and crypto to crash right now. But I think later on this week we might get the relief bounce, a dead cat bounce. We might get a bounce on Wednesday here. If the U.S. I'm sorry, if here in the United States, if the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, if we can show that inflation is coming down and we're getting disinflation or deflation on Wednesday, that CPI, Consumer Price Index, if we can get a number below 0.3, and if we can get a year-over-year number below 2.9, that might actually be something for the stock market and even crypto to celebrate, because that probably means that if inflation is going down and we already have unemployment going up, from what we've seen on Friday, then that's going to force the Federal Reserve to have to lower interest rates, and that's going to be good for a lot of businesses out there that are struggling with tariffs and everything else that's going on in the economy. And yeah, that would be nice. And then also that would help out real estate for those of you who are looking to buy a house. Might get some cheaper mortgages. Those of you who already own a house might be able to refinance and get a cheaper mortgage. So you want the CPI numbers to come down on Wednesday, so pay attention to that, March 12th. And then March 13th, you also have another important number, the PPI. Probably not as important as the CPI, but still, you know, this thing affects businesses and the prices that businesses are paying. And if their inflation is going down as well, that should make things cheaper to buy, cheaper to get, you know, things done in this economy, if we can get some disinflation on the PPI, which is coming out March 13th, later on this week on Thursday. Okay, so pay attention to that. Then of course we have you know, going into next week, the Federal Reserve on March 19th. They're gonna have their interest rate decision at 2 p.m. and then Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, will talk on 2:30 on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. East Coast time. He will tell us why they did what they did with interest rates for next week. So we got some important days coming up here, guys. You know, the CPI and PPI later on this week is going to affect what the Federal Reserve does next week on Wednesday here. So this might be the thing that saves the markets, or it could cause us to go down further if inflation is still going up and the Federal Reserve decides to keep interest rates high. It might be game over for the stock market and crypto if it hasn't already been game over already. Let's get back into some cryptos here and talk. Yeah, I could talk about stocks or cryptos, guys. I just want to show you some stocks that were out there. I showed you the stocks that are related to crypto. I think another stock that's not really related to crypto that got beaten down pretty bad and that made the news headlines today was Tesla. Okay, Tesla was down 15%. Let's take a look at Tesla real quick so you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, Tesla looking just like a crypto, down 15.4% today. But Tesla's also been in a bear market, or been crashing ever since. Like it topped out in the middle of December, almost the same time as crypto. I mean, crypto, we had another bull run in January leading up to Donald Trump getting inaugurated, but this chart looks almost like a cryptocurrency chart, you know, where Donald Trump got elected and that caused Tesla to go up for whatever reason. And then I guess people realize that doesn't mean that they're going to be selling more cars, you know, and they came back to realization that the stock is only worth what it was back in October. All right, cartoons. You're saying if I had to recommend 2 coins to buy today with the dip, which would it be? I mean, you gotta play it safe in a bear market. A lot of these cryptos out there, they are they're getting hammered. They're getting absolutely destroyed. But they've been getting absolutely destroyed ever since Donald Trump got inaugurated, it seems. I would stick to Bitcoin right now. If you want to keep yourself exposed to crypto, Bitcoin is not going to go down as hard as these other cryptos. Because I mean, look at this. Like Bitcoin right now, today, Bitcoin, it actually went up since I've been live streaming here. It's at $78,500 now. Bitcoin is only down 0.1% for Tuesday. All right, it's now considered Tuesday. They base the time on crypto on the time over in England. Okay, so right now it's you know, it's I believe 2 o'clock in England, about to be 2 o'clock. Okay, and you know, right now Bitcoin is actually up now. It's saying Bitcoin is actually up right now. So, you know, Bitcoin is in the green, and now look at all these cryptos. They're still in the red. Okay, these altcoins are in the red. I mean, they'll probably catch up to what Bitcoin is doing. But I would say, you know, stick with Bitcoin. You could try Ethereum. Ethereum is probably going to move just like Bitcoin, but you know, it seemed like this past couple of years, you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. Ethereum didn't even make it to its all-time high. I mean, I'll look at Ethereum here real quick. But yeah, I mean, Ethereum had a lackluster performance. You know, we saw Ethereum at like $4,800 back in 2021. It didn't even do that last year, and it didn't do it so far going into 2025. And now here we are. Ethereum is back down to half the price of what it was in December, right? December we were actually like $3,800, $4,000 Ethereum. Ethereum is more than 50% below that. Ethereum is kind of acting just like the other altcoins here. I would put more preferential treatment towards Bitcoin, you know. And when Bitcoin goes back up, it's gonna go up and it's gonna go flying harder and faster than Ethereum. And then Ethereum is just gonna try to play catch up with Bitcoin. So I would actually be in Bitcoin right now over Ethereum. Okay. But as far as like a second coin, I actually think, you know, Sui. If you want to have some exposure to the future, Sui is one of the fastest cryptocurrencies out there. I think that's a good pick. If you want to have some more, if your risk tolerance is higher and you want some more performance and gains, Sui has a lot going for it. Another one would be Solana. Okay, Solana and Sui are two of the fastest cryptocurrencies. Aptos is right there as well. Matter of fact, I think Aptos and Sui are actually faster than Solana. But the cool thing about being in Solana is that you can stake your Solana and earn interest while you're waiting for Solana to go up. We'll take a look at Solana here real quick. Solana at $118. Yeah, Solana back to where it was in like September of 2024. Yikes. You got the point of control for Solana at $140. So Solana is already below the point of control, and yikes, you know, it's even below the value area low at $124. Yikes. I mean, where could Solana go next? I think I talked about this in yesterday's live stream, but I could see Solana going down to like $110, maybe even $100 before it gets a bounce off those levels there. But I can see the possibility if Solana can't hold the $100 psychological level, then it's gonna come down to the the next high volume level is at $74 for Solana. And if you can't even hold that, then you're gonna come right down to $60 on Solana. It just gets worse and worse. But you know, you could earn interest on your Solana while you're scooping it up at these lower prices here. Okay, so yeah, now's the time to pick some of the best cryptocurrencies out there, the ones that have outperformed. I did like Solana because Solana actually did make a new all-time high here at like $295 in January, where the previous all-time high was like $260 in November of 2021. Okay, so Solana did make a new all-time high, unlike Ethereum. Okay, so I would actually choose Solana over Ethereum going forward, to be honest, and it's also faster than Ethereum. Okay, so I gave you some choices, some cryptos to be looking out for. I would stick to mainly Bitcoin, play it safe. Once the smoke clears and the dust settles and we kind of have an idea as like where these cryptos have fallen down to, then you can start playing around with the other altcoins like Solana, like Sui, like Aptos, like Ripple. You even try Ripple, but Ripple might come down. I can see Ripple coming down to $1.50 in the near term here. And then you can even throw your hat in the ring on Ethereum if you want to, but right now I would just stick to buying Bitcoin right now. You can see, like, right now that's what's happening. People are buying Bitcoin right now. They're actually probably selling their altcoins to get into Bitcoin because it's safer than being in any of these altcoins here. So I would stick to Bitcoin right now if you're going to be buying in the dip. And then once you feel like, you know, I mean, you shouldn't really say feel because we look at the charts here, but once you can start spotting like bullish divergences on the RSI, you start seeing like double bottoms and higher lows on the price here, then you could then possibly say it might be worth trying to buy an altcoin instead of Bitcoin. But right now I would just stick with Bitcoin. And even Bitcoin is currently in a free fall right now. Yeah, let me get rid of the VRVP. Bitcoin, how much lower could it possibly go? You know, we got some sideways trading action. I can see Bitcoin coming right back down if it's not going to hold $77,000. Then we could see Bitcoin right at like 69, the all-time high, the previous all-time high of $69,000, and even $67,000 where it was trading at back in October of last year. You got a lot of support at $67,000 up to $70,000 on Bitcoin. There's going to be a lot of people that missed out on Bitcoin that are going to want to try to at least throw their hat in the ring, maybe take a nibble on Bitcoin at $70,000. Okay, so I can see Bitcoin, if it doesn't bounce off the levels that it's at right now, then it could possibly come down lower to $70,000, and then maybe we get that bounce. Let me do a Fibonacci analysis showing like downside targets here. Okay, we'll get an idea like where Bitcoin could go. Right, so if I measure from where we are right now to the $109,000 level here, and where are we right now? We're at like $76,000. You got a 1618 level here that says that Bitcoin could come down like $55,000 using the Fibonacci analysis here. 2618 at $22,000. Yeah, if you can get Bitcoin at $55,000, then you are doing pretty well, getting yourself a good deal here. But by that point, I think you would say that, yeah, the bull market is definitely over on Bitcoin, and it might just go sideways if it goes down to $56,000. I would definitely say the bull market is over, and you might just get a long-term bear market for like another 6 months to a year if Bitcoin comes down to this level. Yikes. Oh man. Looks like Cardano's catching some bids here. ADA is currently trading at 68 cents, up 2.3% tonight. All right, it's technically Tuesday right now, and you know, Cardano had a bad day on Monday here, down 7%. Wow, it's just very, very disappointing to see that. You know, we got that pump up. Cardano, you know, had the Trump pump. They said that they were going to add Cardano into the strategic reserve, crypto strategic reserve. And then we found out on Friday that that's not the case. That, you know, Donald Trump was just naming some of the top 5 cryptocurrencies by market cap off the top of his head, and they're not buying Cardano, and then that brought us below the 50-day moving average. It was nice to see that we got above the 50-day moving average, at least for a little bit there. And Cardano is in a falling wedge now. You can still draw this out, right? The chart pattern here. You got the falling wedge, right, for Cardano. And if Cardano is able to break out to the upside out of this falling wedge, you just take this measure move from the top of the falling wedge to the bottom near the base here, and then you just bring this measure move to where we are right now at 68 cents. You could see Cardano go back to $1 again if this breaks out to the upside. I don't know what's going to cause that move to the upside. I suspect it might be, you know, inflation and CPI. If that thing comes down on Wednesday and then the Federal Reserve lowers interest rates on next week, yeah, you could see crypto and Cardano here get back above and go back into being bullish again. And this is just one bad dream. INJ, okay, yeah, Injective. We could look at Injective. Let's take a look at that. Injective is currently trading at $8.53, down 3% tonight or this Tuesday. And yeah, Injective took a beating yesterday, or about 7%, and then took a beating on Sunday here at 16%. Yikes. And I mean, this one also creating a falling wedge, right? Actually, I should probably measure like this. Yeah, connect those lows, and then the high. This is kind of looking almost like a. I would have to measure like this. Yeah. Yeah, that could be the falling wedge right there on Injective, and then I can just take that measure move from the top to the bottom here on the falling wedge. You take that measure move possibly to where we could break out at $8.50, and you know, you can see Injective get back up to $14. That blue number there, $14.30. But if if we break down to the downside here out of this falling wedge, is saying that we could come down to like $2.69 here on Injective. Yikes, that's like levels you haven't seen since like March of 2023. Not even last year, like 2 years ago. Wow. Okay. Let me pull the VRVP, see if it agrees with any of that information. Wow, point of control. If you continue going down on Injective, you got point of control at like $1.50. Okay, $1.50. Yikes. But I mean, you got like a value area high here at like $6.90. So maybe this is where Injective, if it was to continue going down, maybe $6.90 for 69, right? $6.90 is probably where you might get a bounce, because that's where you have a lot of support at $6.90, $7 area for Injective. You got sideways trading action here, so yeah, I think that might be the short-term bearish target. If we're not gonna bounce off of like $8 and $8.50, then you could see yourself come down to like $7 or $6.90 if you like that number better. Okay. But I already told you, like, if we were to get bullish on Injective, right, you just take that measure move here off the falling wedge, and you're looking at like a $14 Injective for a short-term target, which pretty much gets you back to where you were in like February, right, last month. And then, you know, just looking at this data here, it does say that point of control is at $20. So, you know, Injective does want to come back to $20 at some point if it continues, if it can get back into a bull run here. If you can get yourself a bull run rally, you can see $20 being the next target for Injective. Jim DeRinger, yo, what's up? I think I seen you in some of Porky Flounder's live streams. I appreciate you coming out to this live stream. Let me know what kind of crypto you want me to take a look at. Right now, we're currently looking at Injective. We've done Solana and Aptos, Sui. We talked a little bit about Ethereum and Bitcoin already. But yeah, if you got another crypto you want me to look at, we can go ahead and take. I also looked at some stocks. I looked at some of the stocks that are related to crypto, like Coinbase and Hut 8, which is a Bitcoin miner. How far do we think OM is moving? Okay, we take a look at OM. Let's see. Look at the data off of Kraken Exchange. See what comes out here. Actually, is this a relatively new cryptocurrency? Because I don't have that much data here off of Kraken. Let me see if maybe Binance might have some more data. Yeah, Binance has more data. Okay, yeah, that might. I don't know why Kraken. Maybe Kraken just recently listed it on their exchange here, but I got more data here off of Binance, anyways. OM at $6.43. Currently up 2.5% the last couple hours here. Is it trying to get a bounce? Looks like we're bouncing off of this value area high. Value area high sitting at like $6. We came down to $5.85 on OM earlier today. We came down to $5.85. And you know that makes sense because it looks like they're trying to bounce off this high volume node here on the VRVP at $5.90. Okay, and $6 is the value area high here. Okay, if this is just a dead cat bounce and we're just going to continue going lower, if this turns into a bear flag here, then you do have some support. I see some support maybe at the 50-day moving average, this green line here at like $5.05. You got some volume here at like $4.60 and 70 cents here. But the ultimate point of control for this crypto, if it keeps on going down further, you got a lot of support at $3.88 here for OM, and that makes sense because look at all this sideways trading action you have here back in January and December when you were trading at $3.90 for the most part on OM. That's a very solid line of defense support area for OM. Okay, so you just have to see if we're going to continue being bearish. You might be able to put the majority of your buy limit orders at like $3.90 here, a little bit under $4, and you can scoop up some cheap OM. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna game plan this out, right? Okay, if this is a bear flag, right? This is what I mean by bear flag. You got your flagpole here, you got the lows here, you connect the lows, right? And if this thing kind of like creates a flag, sort of like this, be on the lookout. We might be going into a bear flag here. The bear flag would play out like this. Like if this goes up, down, and decides to go down below that bear flag here, this is all hypothetical. But you can see that if we break down from where we are right now, okay, look at that. It kind of measures out and puts you right at the value area low. You're going to come down to like $4.90. So like the bear flag is saying that, OM could come down to $4.90. Okay. And then you got the volume area, I'm sorry, the volume area low here at $4.90, $5. Okay, so you got this white line here, and you also got the bear flag saying that you can come down to $5. Render and Chainlink. All right, yeah, I'll look at Chainlink first because I haven't looked at that one in a while, and then we'll go into Render. I talked about Render in my my little live stream last night, but yeah, we'll look at Chainlink first and then Render. All right. Okay. Let's go into Chainlink. Link this link. All right, Chainlink currently at $12.56. You got your point of control here. Could be a nice area of support at $11.25. We've already made a lot of a lot of moves down here on price. Chainlink was having a better January than it is here in February and March. So the move, we've already came down on Chainlink. I could see us getting close to bottoming out near the $11 area, where you got a lot of volume here on the VRVP. VRVP point of control saying like $11 and 19. I'm sorry, 11.46 actually. So you could probably still come down like another dollar here on Chainlink. So I would start putting my buy limit orders in that area. See if you get filled on your buy limits, on your limit orders for Chainlink here. But yeah, it's pretty clearly obvious that we're in a bear market. We're in bear control territory on Chainlink. We're below the 200-day moving average. 21 just pierced through the 200, so you're for sure in a bear market on Chainlink here. And you know, when Chainlink does decide to bottom out, I'm expecting that 21 EMA, that white line, to act as resistance. Okay, and sometimes when I look at this, like if I want to like plan things out in the future, like if this thing continues on its trend, right, then you have, you know, I'm just extending the 21 EMA here, but if this thing comes back up, it might get rejected. If it does go up to like $14.60 here, it might come back down, maybe make a double bottom before it breaks out and starts going to higher prices here. Okay, so I'm just using that as like a guidance here, the 21 EMA, and planning things out that if this thing does go up for whatever reason, it might get rejected basically at $4.60, or I'm sorry, $14.60 or $14.80, which is also where we have some volume, a lot of volume at $14.80 here if Chainlink does decide to go back up. Okay, so your short-term bullish target should be $14.80 on Chainlink if you're short-term trading this thing. Let's take a look at the RSI, see if there's any some divergence here. And I do see already a little bit, or the beginnings of what could possibly be bullish divergence on Chainlink. You got right there, you got higher lows, right? And then of course you got lower lows here on the price. So it looks like Chainlink is already starting to do some bullish divergence here. That is a start. It lets you know that you can probably start buying, start taking a nibble on Chainlink. But I would like to see Chainlink do something like this, where you know, it comes up to like maybe $14 or $15 here, comes back down, creates a double bottom, retests $12.40, and then we can come back and go up to higher prices here. Or maybe, right, maybe it's not a double bottom, but maybe you want to see something like, you know, like we come up to 14.80, maybe we get up to like 15 or 16, and then we come back to like $13, make a higher low, and then shoot up to higher prices. That would be that's how you know for sure that you can start buying more Chainlink here. When you start seeing that higher low, or at least the same low, you want to see like a double bottom or a higher low here for you to get bullish on Chainlink. And I wouldn't be saying that I'm bullish on Chainlink until we get above the 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at 1677. Okay, we'll move on to Render here. We mentioned Render USD. Render $2.70, not looking good, not looking good. Render was looking like it was trying to create some bullish divergence here. The problem I see, let's see, you know, there was some higher lows that were forming here, and we thought maybe yesterday if it stayed, you know, at a higher low, then this would be definitely for sure bullish divergence. But look at this, it's piercing right through my trend line here. Let's see, what is the official reading here? We have an RSI of like 29.26 on the RSI for Render right now, and RSI over here was like 27, so 27 and 20. Barely. We're like flirting with a little bit of bullish divergence. It was more bullish yesterday than it is today. I'll tell you that, right? Obviously, right? Because we had another red day here. But if this thing continues going lower, then that's gonna just eliminate the bullish divergence here, and you can't really call it bullish divergence anymore. It's just gonna be this thing is going lower, pretty much. That's what it's doing, right? So render, if render does continue going lower, how much lower could it go? I like using the VRVP. If you guys haven't noticed yet, I like using these the green and red bars here, the VRVP. You can put that on your trading view chart. It is one of the indicators that you can use. And when I do the VRVP, just for a little bit of education here, guys, I put the inputs. You'll probably have just 24 as your number. And if you have 24 as your number, this is what the VRVP looks like, okay? Just like these blocks here, which doesn't really give you precise data. So what I do here is I go into settings, and then I just put a 0 next to that 24. And then your VRVP is going to look something like this. And you can see, you know, for sure where the gaps are in the VRVP, okay? And you get more precise data, okay? But yeah, that's the VRVP in a nutshell here. And if I zoom out, it shows that we have for render point of control, the blue line is at $2.35. So render could possibly come down another 30 or 40 cents, and then you got the value area low. The value area low at $1.28. And that's like my worst case bearish target on render if we continue being more bearish and we keep losing our value. And the price keeps coming down here. I could see, you know, render might finally bottom out at like $1.30 here. Let's see. Interested in BNX. Okay, seems like a stronger sideways consolidation from the previous flag. All right, yeah, let's take a look at BNX, and I think that's gonna be in my last request that I'll take, unless you guys have any more requests here. I would like to check out my friend Porky Flounder's live stream after this. See what he has to say, see what his thoughts are on the market. I've also done a lot of talking here too. Eventually I'll get the energy to do longer live streams here, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming out today. Don't forget to hit that like button. BNX looks like it's currently trading at $1.01 here. Looking at the VRVP right now, just using this data going back from September of 2024, you have a high volume node here at 52 cents. Point of control is at 52 cents. So if this thing does come down for whatever reason, I see we could get some support in that area. But BNX actually looks somewhat bullish right now. It's above the 200-day moving average. What I like about BNX, who put that one? Jim picked this one. I like the fact that BNX actually came down to the 200-day and got support and bounced off of that 200-day moving average, that red line there. So that is a lot healthier than a lot of these other cryptos that are out there. BNX, and then also you could consider this to be a bull flag on BNX, a long-term bull flag. Let me get rid of the VRVP here. I'll even get rid of the moving averages here. Now you got almost like a naked chart, okay? But you can measure this flagpole here from the bottom to the top here, right? And it looks like you're creating a little bit of a flag here, right? So you can just see how that plays out on the flag. We might come back down again, retest the bottom of the flag here. But if BNX is going to be bullish for whatever reason here, if we literally break out where we're at $1.02 here, $1.02, then you take that measure move from the flagpole, you put it to like where we could break out $1.02 here, and it says that you have a price target of about $2.18, that blue number right there. if this thing plays out and continues being bullish. And wow, I think that actually is higher than where it was at back in like August of last year when you were trading at like $1.68 and what, $1.75. So I'm gonna have to look up BNX, see why it's so damn bullish right here. Just be careful. I do see possible bearish divergence on the chart though. Okay. The bearish divergence is showing that, you know, we're making we were making higher highs here. Okay, we're making higher highs on the price, but we're making lower highs on the RSI. Okay, and you know what that did was it just caused us that created the start of this bull flag that we're in. You do want to see us probably maintain above 69 cents here. What a number. Maintain above 69 cents for us to continue being bullish here on BNX. Let me just pull up the VRP one more time here. See what the volume nodes are saying. Yeah, you got the value area high at 89 cents. So that'd be nice if you can stay above that number, but I see right here at like 70 cents and yeah, about 70 cents or 69. If you can stay above that, that'd be really nice to see. You don't want to go below that. You could actually game plan this out, right? Put your stop loss at like 69 or 68 cents. If we lose 69, 68 cents, you probably don't want to be in BNX anymore because, you know, there's not that much support. You're gonna probably end up coming down to the value area low at like, you know, 15, 20 cents here. Yeah, and I'll even do one more for you on this chart here. I will do the Fibonacci analysis, see what that has to say. Okay, measuring from here to here. All right. And you got, you know, if this thing was to come down lower, you got your deep retracement level of 0.786 at 40 cents. So maybe 40 cents could be, if you're able to, you can scoop up some cheap BNX at that level as well. Okay. But yeah, this thing is looking a lot healthier than a lot of cryptos out there, even better than Bitcoin. And I'm curious to find out. I gotta do some more research on this crypto. I'm a little bit curious now why it's so damn bullish. All right, ICP. I'm gonna make ICP the last crypto here for me to talk about, and then I'm gonna end the live stream. But I appreciate you guys coming out today and giving me all these requests. I love you guys for it. Let's see, ICP. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure why BNX is so strong, but let's take a look at ICP. Internet computer. We'll do that last request for cartoons. Okay. ICP, just looking at the naked chart here, it's been in a downtrend ever since the beginning of December, when a lot of cryptos were topping out at. Let me go ahead and turn on the VRVP here, see what it says here. Okay, point of control, a lot of volume was trading at $7.20. You actually lost the point of control according to this, and then now you're below the value area low. So the value area low is like where 15% of the volume was at, and value area high is like another where the other 15%, and then 70% of the volume is currently at the point of control at that blue line here, and you're below all of these lines. So you're in like kind of like uncharted territory, at least when it comes towards the VRVP here. I would have to zoom out a little bit more to see if we can get some more data here on ICP. And of course, now here we go. Okay, so we got another point of control, because if you take the data going back to like July of 2023, it says that the point of control is actually at $4.12. Okay, we got a lot of volume at $4.12. So this cryptocurrency, if it continues being bearish, you might get a bounce off of that $4.12 area. Okay, but let's see, you might even get some more volume here at like $4.08 Now I'm just gonna stick to like $4. Yeah, $4.11 is, yeah, because this is like basically a big gap. So this thing looks like, oh, it looks like it really wants to come down, cratering towards that $4 level here. Okay. So I would not want to catch this falling knife, to be honest with you. I would consider this a falling knife, as this thing looks like it wants to continue down to $4. At least according to the VRVP. Let me go ahead and turn on the moving averages. Is there any support on the moving averages? This thing is below all the moving averages. 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, and the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA, if you use that as an indicator, this is going to stay close to the price for the most part. When ICP gets above the 21 EMA, I would start to become more bullish on this crypto. But in the meantime, I'm expecting that if this thing does come back up to the 21 EMA, it's probably going to get rejected like it has been, like here in February 22nd. It got rejected off the white line, the 21 EMA, back on February 1st. So this white line has been a barrier to higher prices for ICP. And until it actually breaks above that 21 EMA, that white line, it's going to continue getting rejected like it's been doing, right? Once it gets above that 21 EMA, I would start being more bullish on this crypto. But let's see, is there any bullish divergence? Maybe. Let's see. We have possible very weak bullish divergence here on ICP. I'm just gonna pretend like this wick didn't happen, but you can see that we made some lower lows here on price, and we have possible bullish divergence because look, the RSI here back on February 6th was at 28.42, and then this low that we made here on Sunday was what, 29.99. So that's slightly higher low than back here in the beginning of February. So you have very weak bullish divergence. I would want to see a double bottom, or start trading sideways maybe, or maybe just a higher low would be even more bullish. And if it does create a higher low, then it could possibly get above that 21 EMA, and then you can be more bullish and you can start buying more ICP. But you can throw your hat in the ring and see if you're catching the low here, catching the bottom at $5.13. And I would just put a tight stop loss at maybe $4.70. Because if we lose $4.70, we're probably going to go down into the low fours. Maybe even go below $4 here on ICP. So that's my my bearish price targets, and that's how I would game plan and strategize getting into ICP if I was inclined to do so here. Okay. Let's see. Jim was talking about BNX making a another smaller bull flag, I'm assuming, and it came out of nowhere. Yeah, you're gonna have to keep your eyes out on BNX. BNX is actually one of the stronger cryptocurrencies out there. I think someone was asking early in the live stream here. Let's see, who was saying which one? Oh, Cartoons was asking about which cryptocurrency if I could recommend two coins. I would recommend Bitcoin and BNX at this point, because BNX is actually still in bullish territory here. Okay. And if the rest of the cryptocurrency market starts getting bullish again, could this crypto get back up to $2 like it did back in August and September? Actually, it never got up to $2, but could it get up to $2 and create a new high here? Possibly, if we get a bull market going here for crypto. I'm worried about crypto, guys. I'm worried about these Trump tariffs. I'm worried about, high interest rates, but things could change going into next week. Even later on this week, if we get an inflation report that says that there's no inflation or lower, we're getting disinflation, and then if next week they actually lower interest rates, we could get our butts saved if that's the case here. And then these might be the lows for crypto and Bitcoin, but it's dicey. It's dicey. And of course, wow, look at this. as I'm over here live streaming, Bitcoin is at the highest price it's been since I started my live stream here. Currently at $79,400. But you know, if I zoom in onto Bitcoin here, are we just creating another bear flag, right? You know, I game planned this out. You know, this was the measure move from the last bear flag, right? If we come down, right, and we break out of this bear flag, which we did, I was expecting to see $75,000 tonight, but it looks like we're getting some strong 15-minute candles here. Bitcoin at 79,000, trying to get back up to $80,000. This it could probably still continue going higher, because the RSI is not overheated on the 15-minute either. So we'll see. I mean, this is the start of this is a little bit promising because we're above the 21 EMA on the 50-minute chart here, but we can only be cautiously optimistic on Bitcoin. We'll have to see how this goes. All right, going into later on tonight into tomorrow morning. But don't be surprised if this gets rejected on, you know, if this green line causes some more rejection. That 50 moving average could act as resistance, and then we could just go right back down to the mid 70s here on Bitcoin. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. If you're currently in a bullish trade, short-term trading this, I probably try to maybe cash out at $80,000 if we get up to that level here. $80,600 would be my short-term target on Bitcoin if I was day trading this right now. Okay. All right, guys. Appreciate you coming out to the live stream. Be on the lookout for my other live streams. I usually go live earlier than this. Today I had a long day doing some other things. I got held up a little bit longer than I wanted to, and usually I do my live streams at 5 p.m. East Coast time here. So be on the lookout for my live streams around that time. Sometimes I go even earlier than that. Sometimes you might see me in the afternoons at like 2 or 3 p.m. East Coast time. But yeah, every now and then I do these late night live streams, and it's great because I feel like I get some people from like the West Coast who are, you know, just finishing up their dinner and they're checking me out here on the live stream. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Just be on the lookout for my next live streams here. Okay, and of course look for my shorts too. Sometimes I'll do a short video analysis when I get a chance to do some of my short form content. Okay, all right guys, take care and good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get yourself into. Take care, guys.